Welcome, everybody, to the first edition of 2019. Where in the world is Jeremy Cole? And Jeremy, where are you?
Well, I am in the great state of South Carolina.
Edition of 2019. Oop, hang on. I forgot to. And Jeremy, I forgot to mute my thing. I'm good now, though.
No, we are in South Carolina. We've got our very first one of the year starting actually Friday. It's a one-day tournament on Saturday, but got a lot of stuff going on out here. We went from Santee Cooper all the way up to Greenville today, and now we're back down here in Columbia, South Carolina right now. So it's we're going to spend the day tomorrow on Wateree, which is coming up in April, and so it's kind of our vacay before the tournament starts. So.
Well, have you got a lot of boats signed up for this weekend?
We do. Actually, last year it was our biggest tournament. We had 62, I think. Awesome fish, but we've got about 30 pre-registered, so it's looking to be about 60 boats again. Hopefully a little bit more. I've heard the fish are biting, and some of them, last year you could have 2 fish over 32 inches per person. You could have 4 big fish per team, and it took 150 to win it.
That's pretty nice.
Now they've changed the regulations to 1 fish over 36 inches, which only limits you to 2. But now they're saying they can catch 150 pounds in 2 big fish and 3 under.
Wow.
So the fish are definitely biting. It's 60 degrees. It's supposed to be a beautiful weekend. So
you'll have a lot of people there.
I hit it with perfect weather.
That's well, at least it ain't raining. You're pretty notorious for taking people to rainy spots.
Don't say it. Don't do it to me. It will rain.
Well, hang on just a minute, Jeremy. We got a bunch of folks in the chat tonight. James Dockery, a Fat Boy Dan, PD Fishing, Scotty Hill. John Spears wanted to know if this is going to be a new segment. John, we're going to try to do this every week when Jeremy is out someplace to let everybody know where the tournaments are at and what's going on with the tournaments. If something pops up like high water or whatever, and go over that. And we'll also be talking about the upcoming stuff that he's got going, and I'm kind of excited about some of those, so that's really good. Junior Proctor is in here. Daniel Ishmael, Whisker Sticks Fishing, Paul Blackwell is in here, and Scott Litton so far in chat. Team Wampus Cat Outdoors. So nice weather, big fish, lucrative weigh-in numbers. So you guys are set to put it on good.
Yeah. Last year we had 62 boats, paid back 15 grand. So it
wow,
was a lot of money going back out. And now that I'm thinking, I can keep a secret on where I'm at from week to week. Maybe we should give away like Cabela's Bass Pro gift cards for whoever can guess where I'm at.
Well, what you'd have to do then is not be in the community that you're going to be having the tournament, because they can look that up.
Well, I can make that happen because I'll probably be all over the country before I get to the tournament.
You was today, that's for sure. Oh, man. Yeah, Jason Huggins and Farrell Kids and Wayne Buckridge is in here. Yeah, he's sitting in his truck. He's doing his feed from his truck with his friend Mike there that helps him out at the tournaments. He's been so busy they haven't even got to a motel yet.
I really wanted to do it somewhere pretty and scenic, and it didn't happen. So I'm sitting at the gas station now in Columbia.
Oh, man, Columbia, South Carolina. What a great place to be. I'll bet it's warm down there, and if the fish are biting and everybody's wanting to catch big fish, this is a great tournament for people to show up and go down there and let everybody know what you're made out of.
That's right, and it starts off this year. You got $30,000 in the points race. You come down here and get started in the points race. Like I said, a little over 60 boats. We'll pay back well over 15 grand, and it go way up after that, depending on how many boats we have. So,
well, I hope you have a lot more than that. That way them guys got a big payday coming in. Matthew Drake, welcome. Shad Shack, my buddy that makes the great bait tanks, is in here. I seen a question here. Richard Ward said, Lyle, are you ready for that 3 to 5 inches coming this Friday? And the answer is no, I'm not.
With it.
You what?
I said, I don't know what everybody's going to do with it.
Well, I don't want it. My yard drains really well, but I can't get the water out of it this year.
I hope your mud's not dehydrated.
No, it's not yet. But
well, I know in my part of the world, I'm a little nervous with some of our spring tournaments. I live Western Kentucky, where we got the Tennessee, the Cumberland, and the Ohio that all come in the Mississippi.
Right.
When we left yesterday, every one of them was out of their banks. So,
oh, that's not good. That's not.
We got lots of water coming. So I'm a little about for some of them spring tournaments.
Heck yeah. Well, spring's every day, Jeremy. Spring is one day closer to us. Hey, Hannah, how you doing? Greg Olala, how you doing? Ron Presley is in the house. Cash Grimes. So you got this tournament this weekend. When's your next tournament, Jeremy?
My next tournament will be the week after the Catfish Conference. We'll be at the Catfish Conference next week. Hopefully everybody's coming. I think it's going to be a big deal right there in Louisville. But the following weekend, we're going to one of my all-time favorites. We're going to Lake Tawakoni, Texas, March 9th, and home of the big fish in Texas. So
that's right.
Community, it's like when you go out there. So.
Well, we're planning on making that one unless something comes up. In the last 2 or 3 years, something has come up, so I'm hoping it doesn't this year. But we want to get down there and see Michael and Terry Littlejohn, have dinner with them one night, and go out there and catch some of them giants that's out there. I know there's a lot of Missouri and Kansas boys headed that way to see you.
That's right. Now, do you want snow? Do you want sleet? Rain? What do you want out there? Because I've had it all the past few years.
Well, I really want sunshine, Jeremy.
30-mile-an-hour wind. I mean, hey, we make it in Texas. So
well, I lived in Texas a few years ago. Well, it's been a lot of years ago now. I worked down there for a few years, and when Cindy and I was first married, and our kids was little, and you either having windstorms, rainstorms, snowstorms, or sandstorms, and it's something going. It's a different world down there just about every day where I was at.
Yeah, and not to mention the fish get bigger and bigger the worse the weather gets. So,
well, that's something good to look forward to.
Every year, the worse the weather was, the bigger weigh-ins we had. I don't know what it is about the lake, but it still holds our biggest 5-fish record ever, 330. I'm wrong. Yeah. It is. And that's in 5 fish. So
that's pretty good. Pretty good. That's I don't care where you're in the world you're fishing. If you can catch them kind of numbers, that's a great weigh-in for anybody that fishes catfish tournaments. Paul Blackwell, yep. I would love to make it to Santee one of these days. Jerry, we're all ready for Tawakoni. Everybody's looking forward to that, and we just can't wait to get in there.
Jerry turned me on to an awesome lake that I knew had big fish, but I didn't realize that they had that big a fish. But next year we're working on getting on Ray Hubbard, which is right there 30 minutes from Tawakoni in East Dallas. There's a beautiful Bass Pro that has their own marina right there that we'd be doing the weigh-in right at the Bass Pro doors as you walk out the back in their marina. And he sent me their weigh-ins last December, and the day one weight was like 150 pounds, and the second day was 143.
Oh, wow.
I took almost 300 pounds on Ray Hubbard, and that was pretty awesome. 70-pound big. So
everybody wants to see some of that action, I promise you.
Yeah, so that's one to look for next year. We're working on that right now. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. Have two down there right close together from Dallas. Cindy and I'll be burning up the road heading down there because there's another tournament coming up that we're excited about, and it's on Texoma, which is one of my bucket list lakes. Texoma and Tawakoni both are, and I've never fished either one of them, and I know they both hold giant fish.
Yeah, you can come back twice next year because we'll probably be on Texoma too.
I'll have to make 3 if you get Hubbard. So
that's my
one thing good about that. I can hit 44, and go west and takes me right to 69, and I'm good to go.
You just stay down there. Y'all just move down there for a month. Y'all be like the Ish Company. Buy you an RV.
I wish I could. If I had the ability, I would try to find something. If you was having tournaments down there in the wintertime, I'd look at me a house or a cabin down there to rent for the wintertime and be back up here in the summer, because the older I get, the more warm weather I like. You'll understand that here in about 40 years.
Yeah, I understand now. Well, you should realize that I'm in 60-degree weather right now, too.
Yeah, I know, and I'm not. But it wasn't bad here today. I got to understand that. We have Dale's Tackle in the shop, man. David Funk, Rachel Day, Justin's Fishing Fetish. Man, we got a bunch of people watching it tonight, Jeremy.
That's awesome.
If
they could come drive for me, that'd be even better. Go first.
Come drive for you, and everybody needs to go down there and enter in that tournament and get signed up and have a great weekend. Matthew Baker, how you doing? James Fox is in the house.
I see Glenn's on here too.
Yeah.
Rig Wrap. I don't have it with me. We're going to get it at the Catfish conference and play with it. But Rig Wrap has actually designed a 360 live feed camera for our weigh-in. So starting hopefully at Texas, you'll be able to watch the whole weigh-in like you were standing on or right in front of the stage and look all the way around every which way. So big thank you to Glenn. That'll be awesome. Well,
Glenn is showed me some pictures of what he's designing for you. It's a really, really neat project. And with those 360s, anybody that's watching it, if they're on a phone, I believe they can take their finger and move it around and look at anything that's going on 360 degrees around them. And if you're on a PC at home, you can just take your mouse and click on something, and you can move the screen around so you can see up and down and to either side. So if you want to see the fish being weighed, you'll be able to see the fish being weighed. If you want to see the guys unload the fish out of their boat, you just move it around and you'll be able to see it. He was so wound up about this when he told me about it, I bought one. So I know that he's been working really hard on it, and I've seen some outstanding pictures, so it's really, really neat.
Yeah, I think it'll be an awesome deal. So.
Yep, I do too. What else we need to talk about tonight, Jeremy?
Well, other than the Catfish conference, we'll be booth 20 or 20, I think. So make sure you come by there. Come sign your kids up for a scholarship drawing. We're putting all the kids that are under 16 if they want to come by. We draw for 6 $1,000 scholarships at the end of the year. So make sure you get them on by and sign them up for that.
Heck yeah.
Let dudes come by the booth. So be a good way to get the kids involved. And then be up there for 3 days. So I'm excited. And then got Texas, going out to Kansas, another long trip. That'll be these first 4 just killed me. I'm telling you.
Well, it ain't so bad. I mean, you're riding around with good company.
Well, yeah, sometimes, I done kicked them out of the truck now. But Kansas looking like it could be our biggest tournament of the year. So
now that's on Milford, right?
Yeah, that's on Milford Lake, and that ought to be some huge fish. And it's kind of like Twaukene. You may not catch the 80-pounders like you would going to Wheeler, quite regularly, but it's a consistent fishery. So you catch a lot of 50s and 60s and a lot of good quality fish. So, well, something else, Jeremy.
That lake has got some giant channel cat in it.
Yeah. I don't mean to disregard the channel cat because they're as big there as they are anywhere in the country. So.
Oh, yeah. Then there's lots of them. So if you're struggling with blues out on Milford, I wouldn't be afraid to try to strike up some channel cats, because if you're struggling with them, chances are others are struggling with them too. And if you can put them giant channels in there, it might do you some good.
Right. There's a lot of lakes where them underfish make a world of difference. It ain't a game about big fish. It's a game about unders. So
that's right. We've been to tournaments where we couldn't get unders, and we've been to tournaments where we get all the unders and couldn't get no overs. So I mean, on 2-day tournaments, that's a killer. It really is.
And then we get to go back to Decatur, Alabama. I'm excited about that one.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So
everybody likes to go to Wheeler. I mean, everybody likes to go down there.
That's right. So we got a lot of cool things going on. One of the new things, you know, me and you did a show last year about fish safety and taking care of the fish. Extreme Bait Tanks built 4 of those oxygen boxes. And you weren't at the Classic, but we have a 2,500-gallon dump tank like fire departments use.
Yep.
And we're going to have that at a lot of our events, Texas included.
Good.
Those oxygen systems are in there to keep the water moving and take care of those fish if they're weak, so they're not just getting thrown back in the lake. So we'll have that, and we've got these slings. I think Glenn's starting to make some as well. We've got Ego Catfish slings. Or the big, I don't know what you'd call them. They're just big slings.
Weigh slings. That's a very safe way to carry fish.
Yeah, and what we're going to do, I've got 2 this weekend to test it, but, you know, if you're back in line and you've got fish that don't need to be sitting there trying to dig them all out, you know, 2 minutes here and 2 minutes there takes away a lot of time when you've got 60 boats.
Oh, exactly.
We're going to have them, hopefully more to come during the year in line. So if you don't have big enough fish to get your picture made or sit there and fight them, we'll have those in weighing line so you can pick them up, have your fish ready to go. And if there's a big fish, we can put him in there, and that way we don't have to worry about him falling out of the boat or what have you. So that'll be one of the ways to take care of fish this year is those slings, getting them in and out of the boat and saving a little bit of time, which, especially in the warmer months, 5 minutes may either determine whether a fish is going to make it or whether he wants to turn up belly up, and then you have to fight him all day. So.
Right, exactly, and it's always a good thing if we can save those good breeding size fish. So if you got those weigh slings, there's a lot less chance of them being dropped because those fish doesn't know what being dropped is. They're in buoyant water all the time, so when they're dropped, it's devastating to you. Rachel, 64 or 67, I can't remember right now. I've got it wrote down somewhere so I don't forget, but that's pretty close. Chad Wall, welcome. The Rig Wrap Slinger coming to a boat near you. We're all looking forward to that. Kentucky Outdoor Adventures. Yeah, that weigh sling is a very safe way to handle fish, and I've dropped fish. Everybody has because they can twist out of your hand so quick. But like I say, they don't know what that pressure is when they hit something solid, and I'm convinced that once they are dropped, it does internal damage to a lot of the big fish, and they never survive it. So anything that we can do to prevent that from happening is awesome.
That's right. And in the case something happens, we've got the tank that they can go straight to, and we can sit there and work with them to make sure they're good before ever releasing them, and then, you know, trying to give them as many opportunities to be healthy when they go back as possible. So it's never going to be perfect, but we're doing our best to make it perfect in the end.
That's right. Yeah, that's exactly, and that's what everybody needs to shoot for. And then a lot of guys are doing that. So it's going to be really neat. New sponsors for this year you can tell us about?
None. We're working with a like a oil additive company, a gas additive, like a Lucas Oil type company that will probably have finalized. They're actually out of Texas. But as soon as they come out, we can announce it. But that's about the only new is a fuel oil additive, you know, for your boats to help better take care of your boats. But other than that, our same sponsors are great sponsors. I see Matt with Catfish Clothing is on here, and
he is.
He said we're giving out free hugs at my booth, apparently. So
he's giving them out, or you're going to be giving them out?
Well, he said I am, but he's going to be there with me. So, but no, we've got planer boards all the way from bait tanks, boats. I know you're getting in one of them new XL Stormcats.
I am. I'm so excited.
I already know the down low on what they're bringing out. Probably shouldn't say J. Paul might shoot me, but they're going to have their new model there.
Yep.
That they'll be displaying there. So maybe if you don't need a big boat, a great big 24-foot boat, you may need to go to the Catfish Conference to see what XL's coming out with. But Bass Pro, that's a new one. I guess I should mention. If anybody needs brochures or needs information, you may not be close enough to come to one of these local communities and pick up a brochure, but there's 85 Bass Pro and Cabela stores from Texas and Nebraska all the way over to the Carolinas, and every one of them's got King Cap brochures in it. So
that's awesome.
There and grab one of them if you need it. So,
but
other than that, that's all I got.
Other than that, Rig Wrap is going to be helping you out a lot this year with your 360. I'm excited about that. Right. I think that camera, when it's all said and done, with the mics and everything hooked up to it, I think this is going to change the way that we see live feeds at home when you're out doing tournaments.
Yeah, that's right. I agree. And that's what, when he brought it up, I thought it was awesome because it may change the way any fishing tournament, bass, crappie, catfish, walleye does live feed. So I think he's on to something, and I'm glad to be a part of the first shot.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be great. I don't know which one of you boys is on your mother's phone, but that's great that Josh won his wrestling match. He's a super big guy, and I'm proud to hear that he won that. That's awesome.
And one other thing to look out for, I didn't think it was coming as quick, but it's moving along faster than I ever thought it was going to. But we actually this year have started a high school fishing tournament in the sport of crappie fishing.
Nice.
Our Crappie USA trail. And with that comes the knowledge and experience after a year of doing it, because it's a whole different animal. But we are looking, once we kind of get our head around it, to bring it out in the catfish world as well. Hopefully within the next year to 2 years, having a high school catfish trail, and then of course that leads into college and moves them right on into the sport of catfishing. So I think it just fuels the fire of the sport when you start them off in high school or a rodeo. So if you have young kids, that's something hopefully that'll be coming. Like I said, I didn't even expect crappie to happen this year, but it's happening, and it's gaining a lot of momentum. TV on the Pursuit channel, every one of them televised, and so
wow.
People are wanting the catfish now with the crappie. So hopefully the catfish will take effect here in the next year to 2 years. So,
well, you keep me posted on that. I can really get behind something like that. I know that, you know how small Buffalo is. It's just a little bitty blink your eye running through, but they have a high school bass club here, and they do tournaments and stuff like the Ozark Truman and stuff like that. So, if you get that information for the crappie stuff, I'd take it down there to them. But when you get the catfish stuff going, I can really get behind that and help you with that, because I think that's a great deal for our sport.
Well, I can definitely do that. The guy that is heading that up has worked with us in the past. He lives right there on Truman, pretty close to you. And that is where the majority of the sport is right now, is in your part of the world on Truman and Ozark. So we're going to have 2 of those tournaments there, and catfish will probably kick off there as well. So be right in your backyard anyway.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. I'm super pumped to hear that, because you know, we've been talking about that, you and me and several others, Jody and a lot of guys have been talking. We got to do something to keep these kids interested, because if all of us guys start falling away at some point, if the kids don't get back in it, it'll go away. And a lot of people's worked too hard for the sport to get to the point it's at. We need to make sure we keep it going when we're all gone.
Yeah, that's right. And getting them at a kids rodeo is great and awesome, but you miss 10 years there of their interest, 10 to 20 years of their interest. And so you could gain a lot of people if you catch them young and keep them going through their young adulthood. So that's our game plan, and it's coming together really, really quick, and it looks like catfish is going to be right there in line with it here very soon. So
that's awesome. That's really good news. But you have a little catfish rodeo queen that's pretty fond of you.
my best buddy in all of my travels, Miss Rachel Ishcomer.
That's right.
Going to draw all my tickets. I got in trouble at Crothersville for not letting them go. I'm not gonna make that mistake again. But she fishes all my kids' rodeos. She's my
Well,
she's one fan. She's my buddy. So
she
I
is a
always look.
sweetheart. She is a sweetheart, and we're really looking forward to seeing her coming up pretty soon. If we make it to Waukene, we'll see her there. And of course, her mother and sister are going to be fishing with Cindy in the chick fight tournament coming up, and I'm excited about that for them.
That's right. And Noah Ishcomer actually won one of our 6 scholarships this past year.
Yep.
He got drawn out of the hat out of about 700 kids that fish both our crappie and king cat kid rodeos. And a lot of people don't understand you have a youth under 16 that fishes on your team. They go into that as well. So Noah actually won a $1,000 scholarship last year fishing with us. So
that's a great program and keeps the kids and youngsters involved in the sport, and as much as college, and whether it be tuitions or places to stay or travel back and forth, it costs a lot of money. So any help that they can get, I know them and their parents will appreciate it greatly.
That's right. That's right. So we got a lot of things coming. It takes time. My brain can't handle it all. So more people we can get behind us, the better. So
that's right. Jason Huggins says his 13-year-old son started a fishing club in the high school down there. We're in the St. Louis area. That's awesome, Jason. And K-Bug Clark will be excited to see us all at the next week at the conference, and we're looking forward to seeing K-Bug too. It'll be a good time.
Cool. That'll work.
Be a lot of fun.
Very big. I'm excited.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It'll be a blast.
Yeah, more room to spread out, more vendors, more boats. That's exciting.
It is exciting to see more boats, and I think every year that is going to grow down there at the conference. And me and you will get together down there. Maybe we'll do some more live stuff and talk about some more stuff and have another good time.
Yeah, we should do this again Thursday, because won't nobody know where I'm at Thursday. So
I've got I have a podcast to do with Jay Paul with Excel Boats Thursday. So
Jay Paul, I can, I'll tell him just to forget about it. So your priorities have changed. So me and Jay Paul can hash that out.
I'm not sure what the little girl's name is. I think it's Amy that contacted me. She sent me 3 or 4 messages today, so I'm pretty sure we're locked in for Thursday.
I was just with Jay Paul Saturday. I like to give him a hard time. So
absolutely, and I think he expects it.
He ought to. He deserves it.
Yep. And now, Excel Boats, as great a company as they are sponsoring your year-end prize for this year for Cabela's. Is that correct?
Yeah, and for many years to come, the way it looks right now. So we're giving away an XL Stormcat 230. It'll be $60,000 fully rigged. Got the new Mercury 4-stroke on it, that new design. It'll have it on there, prop, Driftmaster rod rack, B&M poles, full set. Minn Kota Ulterra, 112-pound thrust. That's the lazy man's trolling motor.
Yeah.
Probably a Helix 12 like we put on the one last year, and an extreme bait tank. So all you got to do is put gas in it and go fishing.
Man, that's awesome. What a great prize.
A lot, but
yep, that's a great prize, a great boat, all the equipment, all you got to do is jump in it and go. What a deal. Hope I can win that. That'll
work. And then you can give me the one that you're fixing to get.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that. Everybody says, oh, I win a boat, I have to sell it. Well, no, you don't. You can keep them. You don't have to sell them. You can keep them and enjoy them. And that's what I would do.
I'm not sure I would want to sell it.
No. Now, if it was a duck hunting boat or something that I don't use anymore, that might change my mind. But that thing set up ready to go catch big fish, and that's what I like to do.
Tried, and they ride good. That's the biggest thing, the ride. I've been in heads and 2 other ones, and it don't matter what the weather is, it's going to ride wonderful.
That's the kind I like.
Yep, that's right.
It is. Well, Jeremy, anything else we need to go over tonight?
Can't think of nothing. We're going to go at Santee Cooper out of Black's Camp. Want to thank Kevin Davis at Black's Camp for having us back. Wonderful place there to fish camp. Ron Presley's down here if he's watching, he's not far from me, but he's going to be covering the tournament. So I want to thank them for having us here at Santee Cooper, and tune in Saturday on our live feeds. It's 3 p.m. We're not on God's time. I apologize, Lyle. We're on Eastern time. So
Okay.
Your time. So make sure you tune in, see what Santee Cooper is all about. Going to have a lot of boats and a lot of big fish, hopefully. So.
Absolutely. I'm excited for you. Wish I could have made that tournament. Just didn't work out this year. But make sure, everybody, that you tune in Saturday afternoon. For the live weigh-in, Jeremy, you don't have to worry. I got you set up to where when you go live, I get a notice, so I'll be watching. I hope everybody has a great time out there and no issues on the lake, and I hope everybody catches a ton of fish. Be a lot of fun.
Most important, be safe.
That's right. Now, what's the date up to Waukene? That's your next one, right?
Yep. The next one's Waukene, Texas, March 9th. So.
Okay. So be looking forward to see Jeremy and I on another Where is Jeremy Cole? You already know where we're going to be, so don't forget we might ask.
That's right.
All right. See you guys next week. Thanks for watching.